Good day, everyone. For today's lesson, I am going to discuss to you about graphing polynomial functions. So we have the objectives here for our lesson. So at the end of the discussion, you are expected to find the x and y-intercepts of a polynomial function with degree greater than 2, determine the turning points of the graph, and describe the multiplicity of roots on the graph, and sketch the graph of polynomial functions. Okay, so here is another activity to hone your knowledge in finding the roots of polynomial functions. So find the factors of the given polynomial function and write its roots on the last column. So the first one is done for you. So we have here number 1, y equals x raised to 4 plus x cubed minus 7x squared minus x plus 6. And the factors are y equals quantity of x plus 3 times quantity of x minus 2 times quantity of x plus 1 times quantity of x minus 1. And the roots are negative 3, 2, negative 1, and 1. So in number 2, so to find the factors of this polynomial function, we can apply the rational root theorem here. So find the possible roots first of number 2. So the possible roots here are positive negative 1, positive negative 5, and positive negative 25. So these are the possible roots for our number 2. Now we can use the synthetic division to find the real root of each of our polynomial function. So let's try to use positive 1 first. Okay, so we can list down here the coefficient of our polynomial function: 1, 9, 15, and negative 25. Okay, so divide, bring down 1. 1 times 1 is 1. 9 plus 1 is 10. 10 times 1 is 10. 15 plus 10 is 25. 25 times 1 is 25. The negative 25 plus 25 is 0. Okay, so therefore, itong 1 ay real root ng ating polynomial function. And it is x minus 1. Then let's proceed. Continue. Let's use 1, 10, and 25. Then gamitin naman natin ang negative 1. Okay, bring down 1. 1 times negative 1 is negative 1. 10 plus negative 1 is positive 9. Okay, so dito pa lang ay hindi siya magiging 0 yung ating remainder. So let's try to use another one. Another possible root. So let's use a positive 5. Ayan, bring down 1. 1 times 5, 5. 10 plus 5 is 15. So ayan, dito pa lang, hindi na rin siya magiging 0 yung ating remainder. Kaya naman, okay, gumamit tayo ng negative 5. So negative 5 yung gamitin natin. Ayan. So bring down 1. 1 times negative 5 is negative 5. 10 plus negative 5 is positive 5. 5 times negative 5 is negative 25. Ito, dito. So 25 plus negative 25 is 0. So ito ay real root ng ating polynomial function. And it is x plus 5. The same also here, x plus 5. Okay? So the factors are y equals x minus 1 times quantity of x plus 5 raised to 2 or squared. Okay? Kasi dalawa yung ating x plus 5 eh. Diba? We have here quantity of x minus 1, then quantity of x plus 5, and another x plus 5. So since dalawa yung ating x plus 5 dito, since dalawa yung ating x plus 5, so raised to 2 na lang yan. Okay? So the roots here are 1, 1, and negative 5. 1 at negative 5. Negative 5 multiplicity of 2. Multiplicity of 2. Okay? So, negative 5 multiplicity of 2 ang ating the other root of our polynomial function. So, let's proceed now to next slide. Okay, so using your graphing paper or graphing notebook, try to graph the function given below by plotting the values of x and y presented by the table. Okay, so number 1, we have f of x equals x squared. So let's try to graph the polynomial function here. Okay, so let me draw a Cartesian plane. Dito natin ipa-plot yung ating mga points. Ayan. So yung ating x ay 1, 2, at saka 3. Then we have negative 1, negative 2, at negative 3. Then dito naman, ang malalaki yan hanggang 9, di ba? So, say for example, i-ano na lang natin, estimate na lang natin. Okay, so ito ay 1, 2, 3. Dito din ay negative 1, negative 2, at saka negative 3. Okay, so i-plot na natin. Una yung negative 3 at saka positive 9. So, negative 3 dito sa ating x-axis, itatapat mo siya sa positive 9 sa y-axis. So, malamang dito yan sa dulo. Okay? The next is negative 2, positive 4. So, dito din yan. Dito yan. Then next is negative 1. Masyadong ano kasi ito eh. Masyadong, sige, ano natin. Ito, ilayo pa natin siya. Yung ating negative 9. Para saktong-sakto talaga. Example dito, yung ating negative 9. Ayan. Then, next is negative 1. Negative 1, 1. Tapos 0. Tapos 1, 1. Tapos 2 at saka 4. Dito din na yan. Itong 2 and 4. So, 2 at saka 4. Tapos 3, positive 3 na x at saka positive 9. So, dito. Ayan. So, yan yung ating magiging graph dyan. So, i-plot na natin yung ating points. I-plot na natin yung ating points. Ayan. I-connect na natin yung ating points. Connect pala. Connect the points. Okay, so ito yung ating graph class. So, ito yung ating graph sa ating polynomial function. Tingnan nyo yung ating end behavior. Diba yung coefficient ay positive, tapos yung degree niya ay even. So, it rises to the left and rises to the right, yung ating end behavior ng ating graph. Next, number 2. Okay, so we have f of x equals x cubed. So, ganun pa rin class. Okay, mag-draw tayo ng Cartesian plane. Then, i-plot natin yung ating graph dito sa Cartesian plane. So, i-plot natin yung mga points muna. So, kagaya pa rin kanina, 1, 2, and 3. Then, dito naman, we have negative 1. Then, we have negative 2. At negative 3. Then, dito naman sa y-axis, malalaki to. So, estimate na lang din natin ulit. So, ito, 1, 5, then 10, and so on. So, dito naman, negative 1, negative 5, at saka negative 10. Okay, so mag-upisa tayo sa negative 3 at saka negative 27. So, negative 3, itatapat natin sa negative 27. So, estimate na lang natin dito yung negative 27 natin. Ayan. Then, negative 2 at saka negative 8. So, dito yan. Then, we have now negative 1 at saka 1. Okay? Then, 0, 0. Kasi ipagpalagay natin, class, dito yan sa, malayo. Kasi masyadong kanina eh. Dito. Pagpalagay natin dyan yan. Tapos dito, 0, 0, then 1, 1. Tapos, 2, 2, 8. Dito, 2, 8. Then, we have also 3, 27. So, dito sa pinakadulo. Yan. So, i-plot natin yung ating, i-connect na natin yung ating mga points. Okay, so sorry. Gamit tayo ng ibang kulay, class. Yan, gamit tayo ng ibang kulay. Yan, hindi straight yung ano ko. Basta ganyan yan. Ayan. Okay, so ganyan yung ating magiging graph dito, class, sa ating number 2. Okay? So, i-connect lang natin. Ayan, dito yung ating mga points. Ayan, marunong naman na kayo mag-plot siguro ng points kasi tinuro na to before. Ayan, yan yung mga points natin. Okay, so yan yung dinaanan ng ating graph. Okay, so let's proceed now to the next slide. So, before we proceed to our next slide, so did you show graph correctly? So, you were taught how to graph in your previous years of studying mathematics, right? So, this lesson will help you deepen your understanding in graphing. So, this time, it's more of a level up stage since you will be graphing polynomial functions with a degree greater than 2. So, let's get started. Alright. Okay, so in this lesson, you will be provided with illustrative examples and the step-by-step procedure on graphing polynomial functions. Okay, so here are some important details that must be kept in mind while graphing polynomial functions. So use graphing paper or notebook when plotting. So number 1, the graph of a polynomial function is continuous because every polynomial function with real coefficients has the set of real numbers as its domain. Furthermore, it means that there are no holes or gaps in which you can even draw the graph without lifting your pen. Also, the graph of polynomial function is smooth. It has no sharp corner and the turns are rounded. Okay, number 2, every polynomial function of the nth degree cannot have more than n roots. So that is the fundamental theorem of algebra, which means the graph cannot intersect the x-axis more than n times. Number 3, a polynomial function of degree n has n minus 1 turning points on its graph, or the number of turning points is always less than n. Then the multiplicity of root r is the number of times that x minus r is a factor of f of x. When a real root has even multiplicity, the graph of f of x is tangent to the x-axis. So when a real root has odd multiplicity greater than 1, the graph bends as it crosses the x-axis. Okay, so example number 1, sketch the graph of f of x equals x cubed minus 2x squared minus x plus 2. Okay, so here, we need to find the possible roots of our polynomial function first, to find the real roots of our polynomial function. Okay, so here, to find the possible roots, that is p over q equals, okay, so yung p natin dito is itong 2 at ang q ay ang ating leading coefficient which is 1. So yan yung ating q. Okay, so yung ating p, the factors of p are positive, negative 1, and 2 over 1. Okay, so therefore the possible roots are positive, negative 1, and positive, negative 2. So, yan yung ating possible roots. Okay, then next is, we need to use the synthetic division to find the real roots of our polynomial function. Okay, so we need to use 1 first as the possible root natin na 1. Then, i-list down na natin yung ating mga coefficient ng ating polynomial function. That is 1, negative 2, negative 1, and 2. Okay, so pwede na natin i-list down agad kasi naka-standard form naman na ang ating polynomial function. So, let's proceed na sa ating synthetic division. So, bring down 1. 1 times 1 is 1. Negative 2 plus 1 is negative 1. Negative 1 times 1 is negative 1. Negative 1 plus negative 1 is negative 2. Then negative 2 times 1 is negative 2. So that is 0. Okay, so therefore, itong 1 ay real root ng ating polynomial function. So kapag gagawin natin siyang factor, yan ay magiging x minus 1. Okay? So continue lang natin to. 1, then negative 1, then negative 2. Kopyahin nyo lang yan. Huwag nyo nang isama yung 0. Then, gamitin natin yung negative 1. Ayan, so gamitin natin ang negative 1. Then, bring down 1. 1 times negative 1 is negative 1. Right? Okay, so negative 1 plus negative 1 is negative 2. Then negative 2 times negative 1 is positive 2. So, negative 2 plus positive 2 is 0. Okay, so therefore, itong negative 1 ay real root ng ating polynomial function. So, kapag gagawin din natin itong factor, ito ay magiging x plus 1. At ito naman ay magiging x minus 2. Right? Okay, so the factors of our polynomial function are f of x equals, ito yung factors niya, class. X minus 1, then times quantity of x plus 1 times quantity of x minus 2. So yan yung ating factors ng ating polynomial function. And the roots are, so itong roots, ito yung ating x-intercept class, okay? So the roots are, so ito yung ating mga roots. Positive 1, negative 1, and positive 2. Okay? So 1, negative 1, and positive 2. Ito kasing x minus 2, yan ay magiging x equals 2. Kapag nilipat mo siya doon sa kabila. Right? Kapag inequate natin to sa 0, yung x minus 2 equals 0, then ilipat mo yung negative 2 doon sa kabilang side ng ating equal sign, yan ay magiging positive. Kaya positive 2 na yan. Okay? Then, ang ating x-intercepts ay itong ating mga roots. Yan yung ating x-intercepts. Okay? So, ang ating x-intercepts ay itong mga roots natin. So, that is 1. Okay, 1. Then, 0 yung ating y. Kasi x and y coordinates to, class, ha? Okay, x and y coordinates. So, yung x natin ay 1, kasi kaya nga x-intercepts. Yung x natin dito ay 1, tapos ang y, automatic 0 yan. Then, next is negative 1, 0. Then, we have also 2. Okay, we have also 2, then 0. So, ito yung ating mga x-intercepts. Then, to find the y-intercepts, okay, meron na tayong x-intercept, di ba? So, to find the y-intercepts, ang y-intercepts naman natin, okay, dito sa ating polynomial function, yung x ay palitan mo lang ng 0. Yung x palitan mo ng 0. So, to find the y-intercepts, yung ating f of x, palitan mo ng, yung x dyan, palitan mo ng 0. So, yan ay magiging f of 0 equals to 0 cubed minus 2 times 0 squared minus 0 plus 2. Okay, so ito, automatic, yan ay magiging f of 0 equals 2. So, 2 na lang ang matitira dyan. So, therefore, class, yung ating y-intercepts dito, ang magiging y-intercepts natin dito is So since y-intercept siya, yung x naman ang gagawin mong 0. Yung x ang gagawin mong 0, then yung ating y dito ay 2. Okay? So yan yung y-intercepts natin, 0, 2. Okay? Then next is yung ating turning points. Paano natin malalaman yung turning points? That is n minus 1. So to find the turning points, the number of turning points, that is n minus 1. Okay? So yung ating n dito is yung ating degree. Yung n ay degree. So ano ba yung ating degree dito? 3. So 3 minus 1 is 3 minus 1 is equal to 2. So we have 2 turning points dito, class. 2 turning points. Okay, so we have 2 turning points dito sa ating polynomial function. And then, the multiplicity here is odd. Lahat ng ating multiplicity dito ay odd kasi wala naman tayong exponent dito sa ating factors. Okay, di ba finactor na natin yung ating polynomial function? Then we get the roots. So dito sa ating roots, wala naman tayong even multiplicity. Tama? So wala tayong even multiplicity dito sa ating roots. Lahat ng ating roots dito ay odd kasi wala namang 2, multiplicity of 2 or multiplicity of 4. Di ba? Wala namang ganun sa ating roots. Kaya automatic na yung ating roots ay odd multiplicity. So kapag i-graph natin siya, class, pwede rin naman kayong gumawa ng table of values. So example, ito yung ating table of values. Dito na lang sa taas kasi hindi na kasya sa ating sa baba. Dito kasi yung graph natin ilalagay. So dito na lang sa taas. Example, ito yung ating table of values. Okay, so sa ating x, mauuna syempre yung negative 1. So negative 1 muna tayo. Pagkatapos, right after ng negative 1 is yung ating 0, yung ating y-intercept, that is 0, 2. Okay, 0, 2 yan. Then next is, sa table of values na to ha, then next is 1 at 0. Then next is yung 2. So 2, then 0 dito sa ating y. So pwede na natin yung i-plot sa ating graph. So pwede natin i-plot yung ating mga points sa ating graph. Sa ating sa ating Cartesian plane. Ito. So yung ating x is 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3. Then we have also here 1, 2, and 3. Then dito naman sa kabila ay negative 1, negative 2, at negative 3. Then dito naman sa y, sa baba, ay negative 1, then negative 2, then we have also negative 3. Okay, so i-graph na natin, i-plot na natin yung ating mga points. So mag-umpisa tayo sa negative 1, 0. So dito yan, class. So since yung ating x-intercept ay negative 1, dito yan. 0 naman kasi yung kanyang y-coordinate eh. Okay? Then next is 0, 2. So 0 yung x, then yung ating y ay 2. So dito naman yan sa taas kasi positive 2. Yan, dito yan. Then next is 1 and 0. So 1, 0 dito yan, class. Yung ating 1, 0. Then next is yung ating 2, 0. Dito naman yung 2, 0. Okay, dito, class, sa ating graph, tingnan ninyo yung, di ba, alam na natin yung kanyang end behavior. Di ba, alam na natin ang end behavior ng ating graph dito. Okay, so let's say for example, gagamit ako ng kulay blue. Okay, alam na natin yung ating end behavior dito. Kasi, ang ating leading coefficient ay 1, which is positive. Positive 1, so positive. Then, ang ating degree ay odd. So, therefore, it rises to the right and falls to the left. Okay, so falls to the left, dito yan sa baba. Sa baba ka mag-uumpisa. Okay, ulitin natin yung ating graph kasi medyo ano. Ayan. So, dito yan, class. Ayan, tapos bababa ka. Lalagpas yan dyan, tapos mag-go through. It rises to the right naman. Ayan. So, ganyan yung ating magiging graph dito sa ating polynomial function. Okay, so ito yung ating mga points. Yan. So, ganyan yung ating graph, class. Diba, it falls to the left. So, dito ka sa baba. Kasi it falls to the left eh. So, dito sa baba. Okay. Mag-uumpisa ka sa baba, tapos paakyat dyan. Ayan, paakyat ka dyan. Hindi lang masyadong straight yung aking graph. Okay? And then, right after that, liliko ka dito. Magpapass through ka dyan sa ating y-intercept. Then, lalagpas. Then, pupunta ka dito sa ating x-intercept na 1. 1, 0. Okay? So, magpapass through, lalagpas ka dyan sa ating x-intercept. Kasi ang ating multiplicity ay odd. Kapag even ang multiplicity mo, magbabounce back ka lang. Hindi siya lalagpas dito sa ating x-intercept. Mamaya sa ating example number 2, malalaman ninyo kung bakit. Okay? So dito, class, hindi siya lalagpas. Okay? What I mean here is ito. Dito sa x-intercept natin, hindi kung ang multiplicity natin dito sa ating root ay even, hindi siya lalagpas dito sa 1. Ibig sabihin yan, magbabounce back lang yan. Magbabounce lang siya dito. Tangent lang siya sa ating x-intercept. Ibig sabihin ng tangent, hindi siya lalagpas. Magta-touch lang siya tapos babalik siya ulit doon sa taas. Pero dito kasi, since yung ating root na 1 ay hindi siya even, multiplicity, di ba? Hindi naman to ang kanyang multiplicity, hindi naman 4. Hindi even. Kaya yung ating graph dito, lalagpas siya dito. Magpapass through siya sa ating x-intercept. Okay, so ganyan yung ating pag-graph, pag-sketch ng graph ng ating polynomial function. So depende na yan sa inyo, class. Pwede naman kayong magdagdag dito ng values para maging eksakto talaga yung ating, pwede kayong magdagdag dito ng values to para mas malaman ninyo kung ano yung points dito. Pero kasi pwedeng dito na curve, class, pwedeng ano yan, pwedeng pataas pa or pwedeng pantay lang. Tapos dito naman pag nag-pass through siya, pag lumagpas siya dito, pwedeng mas malalim pa yan. Mas malalim pa or shallow lang yung ating curve dito. Okay? So dalawa lang yung ating turning points. Ito lang yung ating turning points dito, class. Oh. This one. Ito yung ating first turning points. Tapos yung pangalawang turning points ay dito. Ito yung ating pangalawang turning points. So mayroon lamang tayong dalawang turning points. Okay? So next is example number 2. Okay, example number 2. Okay, example 2, sketch the graph of y equals quantity of x plus 1 times quantity of x plus 2 squared times quantity of x minus 1 cubed. Okay, so dito sa example number 2 natin, naka-factored form na yung ating polynomial function. So madali na lang hanapin yung roots natin dito. So yung ating roots ay, so these are the roots of our polynomial function. Yung quantity of x plus 1, yan ay negative 1. Diba? So, negative 1. So, hindi lang natin lalagyan ng multiplicity kasi 1 lang naman ang kanyang exponent, yung exponent ng quantity natin. Dito naman, quantity of x plus 2 squared, yan ay magiging negative 2. Right? Okay, so negative 2. So, since 2 ang kanyang exponent ng ating quantity, so yan ay magiging multiplicity of 2. Negative 2, multiplicity of 2. Okay? So, next is itong x minus 1 cube. Quantity of x minus 1 cube. So, ito ay magiging positive 1. Tapos, ang kanyang multiplicity naman ay 3. 1 multiplicity of 3. Okay? So, 1 multiplicity of 3 naman itong ating quantity of x minus 1 cube. So, yan na yung ating roots. Then, ang ating x-intercepts, madali na lang hanapin din ang ating x-intercepts. Pag mayroon ka ng roots, alam mo na yung x-intercepts mo. So, ang ating x-intercepts dito ay negative 2. Okay, negative 2, 0. Then, we have negative 1. Then, 0. Laging 0 yung y-coordinate mo kasi x-intercepts tayo eh. Kaya 0 ang y-coordinate mo. Then next is 1, 0. Okay? So, ang ating y-intercepts naman, yung y-intercepts natin dito, lahat ng x doon sa ating polynomial function, palitan mo ng 0 para makuha natin yung ating y-intercepts. So, y is equal to, yung x palitan mo ng 0, so yan ay magiging 0 plus 1 times quantity of 0 plus 2 squared times quantity of 0 minus 1 cube. Okay? So, 0 plus 1 is 1. 1 times 0 plus 2 is 2. 2 squared is 4. Then, 0 minus 1 is negative 1. So, negative 1 cube is negative 1 pa rin. Then, simplify. 1 times 4 times negative 1 is negative 4. So, yan yung ating y-intercept. So, yan ay, yung ating x dito ay 0 naman. Ang ating x-coordinate is 0. At ang ating y-coordinate is negative 4. Since y-intercepts naman ang ating hinahanap dito. Okay, so the turning points. So, the number of turning points dito ay ang ating turning points dito ay n minus 1. Yung n ay yung ating degree. So, ano ba yung degree natin dito? What is the degree of our polynomial function? Automatic to may exponent yan na 1. So, 1 plus 2, 3 plus 3 is 6. So, 6 yung ating degree, minus 1 is equal to 5. So, mayroon tayong 5 turning points. Okay, 5 turning points. So, mayroon tayong 5 na turning points sa ating polynomial function dito sa number 2. Okay, then i-write natin yung ating table of values para mas madali nating ma-plot yung ating graph, yung mga points. Para mas madaling i-plot yung mga points. So, x and y. So, una is negative 2, 0. Next is negative 1, 0. Then, sa gitna naman yung ating y-coordinate, y-intercept. So, 0 yung kasunod ng negative 1, di ba? So, dito naman ang negative 4. Then, next is 1, then 0. Okay? So, i-graph na, i-plot na natin yung mga points natin sa ating Cartesian plane para mabuo na natin yung ating graph. Ayan. Yung aking graph, paliko-liko din eh. Okay, so, we have here a 1, 2, 3, at saka 4. Then, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Positive 1, 2, 3, at saka 4. Then, negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4. Okay, so ito ay positive 1, 2, 3, at saka 4. Dito naman, negative 1, negative 2, then negative 3, at negative 4. Okay, ito naman ay positive 1, 2, 3, at 4. Dito naman ang negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, at negative 4. Okay, so i-plot na natin yung ating graph class. Okay, so gumamit tayo ng green color para sa points natin. Ayan, para maiba naman. So, negative 2, dito yung negative 2 natin. Pangit pala siya. Hindi siya masyadong halata. Ayan. So, yan yung negative 2, 0. Next is negative 1, 0. Dito naman yan. Hindi masyadong dito yung graph natin kasi maliit yung ating Cartesian plane. Maliit lang siya. Then 0, negative 4. So dito naman yung 0, negative 4. Okay, tapos yung ating 1, 0 ay dito. Okay, so kung mapapansin nyo class, yung ating end behavior dito ay positive. Yung ating leading coefficient at ang ating degree ay even. Kung mapapansin niyo yung ating x, lahat yan positive. So therefore, yung leading coefficient natin dyan ay positive. Ang degree naman natin ay 6. So since 6 yung ating degree, that is even. Dito mo malalaman yung degree o 1 plus 2, 3 plus 3, 6. So even. So positive at saka even, it rises to the left and rises to the right. Ganun yung end behavior ng ating graph. Gumamit tayo ng color violet. Okay, sa pag-connect ng mga points. So, since it rises to the right, dito tayo sa taas mag-uumpisa. Tapos, since yung ating negative 2, ang multiplicity niya ay 2, kaya hindi siya lalagpas dito sa ating x-axis. Instead, magta-touch lang siya dyan, tapos magba-bounce back. Then, magliliko ulit. Tapos, kukross na siya dito ngayon sa negative 1. Magkukross siya kasi yung ating multiplicity ay odd. Dito kasi kanina sa negative 2, ang ating multiplicity ay even. Kaya hindi siya magkukross. Ang mangyayari, magta-touch lang siya tapos magba-bounce back. Then dito sa negative 1, magkukross na yan dito sa negative 1. Magkukross siya kasi odd yung ating multiplicity. Magkukross yan dito. Tapos, dadaan siya dito sa ating y-intercept na negative 4. Okay, pagkatapos sa ating y-intercept na negative 4. So, since to class, yung ating multiplicity dito ay 3, so lalagpas din siya sa ating x-axis dito. Lalagpas yan. Then, magkukorteng ganito siya class. Yung parang magzizi siya dito. Liliko, tapos aakyat pataas. Okay, so ganun yung ating graph ng ating polynomial function. Okay? So that is the graph of our polynomial function. Nakailang liko siya class? Naka 5 turning points yan. Tingnan nyo ha. Bilangin natin. Ito yung pinakauna na liko. 1. Ito yung pangalawa. Yung pangalawang liko niya is ito. Dito. 2. Then next is, dito tayo, naka 3 tayo dito. Ito yung pangatlong liko niya. 3. Lagyan natin siya ng ibang kulay. Ito yung kanyang pangatlong liko. 3. Okay, tapos yung pang-apat niyang liko ay dito. Dito ang pang-apat niyang liko. Dito. Tapos, ang panglimang liko niya naman ay dito. Okay, so naka 5 turning points tayo dyan. Kung mapapansin niyo, ang multiplicity niya ay 3. So, di ba sa pag multiplicity natin ay 3, magaganito siya. Gaganyan yan. Di ba? So, ibig sabihin, may dalawang liko na yan. Ito yung unang liko niya. Ito. Ano? Hindi halata. Ito yung unang liko. Yung pangalawang liko naman dito. Okay, so ganyan tayo class kapag mag-graph ng polynomial function. 'Di ba? Madali lang naman siya. So that's all for the so ito yung ating example number 2. Okay? So I hope na-gets niyo yung ating example. So look at this table. Before we proceed pala with our activity, look at this table for more illustration. Ayan. Kapag negative 2 tayo, even yan, tangent. Then kapag negative 1, odd naman, it crosses. Or 1, odd din yan, so it crosses din. Okay? So even kasi yung kanina yung negative 2, kaya hindi siya lumagpas. Kaya magbabounce lang siya. Unlike sa negative 1 at saka 1. Okay, so for activity, sketch the graph of the given polynomial functions. We have number 1, y equals x raised to 4 minus 2x cubed minus 7x squared plus 8x plus 12. And number 2, we have y equals quantity of x minus 2 times quantity of x plus 2 times quantity of x minus 3 times quantity of x plus 3. Okay, so that's all for this day. Okay, thank you for listening.